review. I'm Evelyn.
I'm Arjuna.
And I'm Krishna. Hi.
And we are reviewing Vice Principals, the HBO original show, Season 1. And we just watched the finale, so...
So if you don't know about the show Vice Principals, it's about two vice principals played by Danny McBride and I believe his name is Walton Goggins. Very well known for his roles in an FX show like Unjustified and Sons of Anarchy, much more dramatic roles. This is not a dramatic role, this is a comedy. And you have these two vice principals that are vying for this principal spot after Bill Murray's character in the first episode retires, but much to their chagrin, a new principal is chosen by their superintendent, and this first season shows their path of trying to get rid of her as principal throughout the show. And it's really, the style of the show is very much like an 80s type of movie, but instead of from the perspective of like the kids, it's from the perspective of these teachers that are very much acting like children.
Complete with like 80s music
as
well.
Sounds like it's great.
Great music. And the show, it's definitely a slow start, but I think as the show went on in the first season especially, it definitely reached new heights each and every episode. It got a little bit more ridiculous. And speaking of ridiculous...
Culminating in the end.
Culminating in the season finale. It plays out very much like a, typical, we did it, this is the end, very happy. They finally get Melinda Brown, the principal that comes in, by framing her. The vice principals who started off as rivals and have become friends as the first season has gone on. Like, really weird, messed up friends that...
it's a very strange friendship.
So they're totally celebrating, their new ascension to principalhood. And then Danny McBride's character goes outside and sees his and the other vice principal's cars on fire, and this figure in a black trench coat and one of the creepiest masks you've probably ever seen,
very scary mask,
comes up to him, pulls out a gun, and then shoots him twice in like the shoulder.
Once in the shoulder, and then like once in the lower.
Was that kidney
stomach.
or something?
Yeah, kidney, appendix,
whatever that is. Yeah. You have this. The last shot of season 1 is this masked guy shooting Danny McBride twice, completely different, and we all laughed out loud because it was so ridiculous and highlights just how quirky this show was from beginning to end. And clearly, season 2 is going to be different.
It's a wild card right now. We really have no idea what it's going to be like. Right. And the show kind of has done that the entire season, where it goes through these phases of having all of these good things happening, and then you're like, something bad has to happen. I feel like at first when I was watching the last episode, I expected Melinda Brown, the principal, to be more active. I expected her to come back after she resigns, but maybe that's playing out for next season, where that'll be the point of next season, is maybe she's fighting for her seat back or something like that.
And so I understand where you're coming from with the whole Melinda Brown being more active, but I think she's behind what happened at the end, and because she spent most of the season so down and out and just started off as principal and just went like this. All season 2 is going to be the most ridiculous revenge you've ever seen.
It could also be Walton Goggins' character in some way too, because especially when they're raising the flag and he's trying to pin everything on Danny McBride's character, they clearly have some type of friendship, but he's still, in my mind, out for himself.
That would make sense because the show starts off with them as
very
strong
enemies.
Adversaries.
Yes.
So it would make sense to come back to that for season 2.
Yeah.
And you're actually, that actually makes more sense, because his character is the one who instigated lighting her house on fire. He's clearly, he's capable of doing very extreme things. He's kind of a sociopath.
Could you see maybe a scenario where McBride's character teams up with Brown to take on
that would be
Walton
very
Goggins?
interesting. Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe.
Russell.
Yeah.
Or maybe it just turns into a slasher movie. maybe. I mean, a slasher, a show, a horror show.
Though knowing this show, you can't really predict how it's going to go. It's probably going to go.
I'm hoping anything we come up with is wrong.
Right.
Because that was what I liked so much about this season, is that I had no expectations. I had no idea what to expect next.
So I think that's going to do it.
Yeah.
For us and this LuZo review. I hope you've enjoyed it and our thoughts. Please leave comments here on this YouTube/Facebook post. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. We have a subscribe button somewhere, and if you're on Facebook, please like our page and then go to our YouTube page and also subscribe, and vice versa. And then also check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Vine.
If you haven't watched the show, go watch the show. Vice Principals is on HBO.
Right.
Highly recommend.
For Krishna, Evelyn, and myself, Arjuna, this has been a LuZo review.